Hello friends and welcome to Code Bay. This is Rishi Prakash and it's again half past midnight and today we are going to discuss a rather very important topic, although non-technical, but it's very important to deal with such kind of questions. And the topic is going to be about all the questions which I'm getting from all sort of students who are in school, who are going to college or who have graduated and are searching for job. So the question is about how to start with programming. Right. Uh, Sometimes I get a question that, sir, I am first year, I am in first year. What should I do? Should I go towards web development? Should I do more projects? Or should I go towards CP? Will CP, competitive programming alone, be able to get me a job in Google or Facebook? Or what is the difference between competitive programming and interview preparation? I'm a fourth year student. How should I prepare? Should I go for competitive programming? Should I put my time? Should I invest my time in competitive programming, or rather should I just prepare for interviews? Right. Today we will be talking about all these kind of questions. So let's start with school going students. So the school going students who are interested in computer science, who are in 11th and 12th and they have a subject of computer science in their school, my advice to them would be just focus on your competitive exams. I think you are going to write JE or similar sort of exam. Uh, just put your focus solely on these competitive exams so that you can crack them with flying colors and get into IIT, IIIT, NIT or any tier 1 colleges. And by going there, by reaching there, you will get a great environment to start learning computer science, right? That should be your path to follow, that you first crack your competitive exam with very good marks, very good numbers, you get a great rank, and then you get into tier 1 college, and then there you can start your competitive programming or programming learning journey, right? But at this point of time there are certainly some skills which you can develop in yourself so that they will be helping you throughout your whole life. You must develop inside yourself the logical ability and the analytical ability. Logical ability is to deduce something, to infer something out of raw data. Analytical ability to analyze the complex situation and just find the solution out of it, right? This would be my advice for you school students. Just focus on your competitive exams. Now let's talk about the very important sort of students, the first year and second year students who have just started their engineering journey. How should they start their programming learning journey, right? For them I have a step by step plan, right? You should choose one programming language. It would be really good if you can choose either C++ or Java. Many students nowadays are learning Python, right? In my opinion, Python is good for data science or machine learning, but it is not good for competitive programming because Python has a recursion stack of 1000, right? That means after 1000 recursions, it will go out of memory, and that won't be good when you are trying to submit your questions on online competitive websites. So choose one of the C++ or Java as a language. Just get through with it. Take a book, any book which is having a simpler language. Just take a book and just read whole lot, completely read it totally, uh, get thorough with it so that you are able to understand the syntax and semantics written in Java or C++, right? Then the third step would be you learn DSN algorithm from your college level book. So all of the students either in second semester or in third semester, they must be having a subject of data structure, right? So you must read that book which is there in your college level and just read it thoroughly. Just understand in and out of every basic data structure and algorithm, right? Now once you have done with all these three steps, then you can move to the fourth and important step, and that is to choose any of the websites available online. So these websites are competitive program websites. I haven't included the interview preparation websites here. That is the websites which are for interview preparation. I will be including them going further for third year, fourth year and graduates, right? So here you can choose either of the websites, any of the websites, be it CodeChef, be it Topcoder, HackerEarth, HackerRank. You can choose any of the websites and just start solving current competitive programming competition going on, or the previous questions which are there, right? You just get into a habit of writing code. This is the most important habit to develop, is to get into a habit of writing code. This is the most hard, the hardest part of your programming journey, is that people just get scared looking at a question, and you need to come out of that fear. And that fear can only be broken by getting into a habit of writing code. You just do the thing which makes you afraid, right? And once you have started the fourth step, the things to focus on for this strata of students, the things to focus on would be uh, questions on math, questions on DP, questions on graph, recursion, backtracking. These are the hardest part of your DSN algo, and if you are thorough with these concepts, nobody can stop you from getting a job in FANG or whatever sort of company you want to get in, right? And you need to get through of these concepts. These are going to actually help you out in cracking top level company job, right? This is my advice for first year and second year students. Now let's move for third year and third year students and first year students who are in masters, their MS or MTech is going on. For these students, they must be thorough with at least one OOPS based programming language. So here I am assuming that you already know Java and C++ or C++, right? And you should learn basics of data structure and algorithm from any of the websites available or any of the book available, and just know the basics, right? And after that, there is no need to go in CP completely, because for these students, I think in 1.5 year interviews will start, right? And for interviews you need two things. You need DS algo, and apart from that you also need some projects to showcase during the interview. So what you should do, you should put your 60% of focus on websites like InterviewBit and LeetCode. These are interview preparation websites, right? Then you should put your 60% focus on these websites. If you are able to concentrate on these websites, you should be able to complete your programming journey, the first phase of programming journey, and that is to learn all the data structure and important algorithms in 6 months, right? It should take you 6 months to solve completely InterviewBit completely and a good part of LeetCode, and you should be fairly confident after completion of these 6 months. Then the 20% of your effort should go on websites like HackerRank and CodeChef. Just try to attempt certain competition which are going on there, because at times HackerRank and CodeChef, they do have job related competition, right? And at times they are open for third year students or first year MS MTech students also, right? Now the remaining 20% of effort you can put on your project building, because that is also required to showcase during the interview. This is my advice for third year and first year MS MTech students. Okay, now let's talk about fourth year students who are in their BTech fourth year, or they are in MS and MTech second year. For these people, there is only 1.5 year left before they sit into interviews. Now for these people, I am assuming certain things. One, they are already having a grasp on DSN algo. Two, they already know one language fully, thoroughly, completely in and out of that language they know. And that language, I hope that language is out of OOPS. Although nowadays there are certain functional languages also quite popular throughout the industry, but if they know C++ and Java, then it's actually going to help them out, right? The third is they already have some projects. Right, now let's talk about how should they prepare for their interviews. They should put their full focus on interview preparation websites like InterviewBit and LeetCode, and within a span of 4 to 5 months. If they start from zero, they can completely get done with InterviewBit like website and can solve all of the questions present. I think there are like some 300 or 350 questions on InterviewBit, and in 4 to 5 months you can learn all the concepts of data structure and algorithm and can solve InterviewBit completely in and out, right? Or you can go with LeetCode, but I'll encourage you to go on both of the websites instead of choosing one of them. Just go both on the websites. Try to find most frequently asked questions as per the company you are interested in. For example, I think on LeetCode and on InterviewBit also there is a functionality to just get the questions list based upon the company, right? And then you can prepare according to the company or the kind of companies you are trying to get in. My advice for fourth year student and second year student for MS and MTech would be solve all the questions for these websites and understand the patterns, right? When you solve a number of questions, more than like if you have solved 300 400 questions of data structure and algorithm, then you will start seeing patterns there. There are certain patterns existing in competitive programming, in interview preparation, and once you start realizing them, it will be very easy for you to pick up a new question, just find the pattern, and just you can then apply your own solution on it, because you know that you know the basic way of tackling that particular question by practicing a lot of similar kind of questions, right? And that's where the gap is filled by InterviewBit and LeetCode like websites. Now there's a query by Sakshi. Sakshi said she is able to crack the logic. So now here she is talking about, let's say she is trying to solve a programming question. So she is able to crack the logic. That means she is able to understand what is the problem statement and what is being asked as an output. So she is able to crack the logic and how that should be produced in a brute force manner. So she usually knows brute force approach, right? So basics are good. That means Sakshi has already crossed first two level. That is, first level is to understand what the problem statement is. Second level is to understand what is required as an output, right? And that can be produced using brute force. Now where Sakshi is lacking and where Sakshi needs the improvement is that she is not able to reduce the complexity and the test cases are failing. Now first talk about why she is not able to reduce the complexity. See, to reduce the complexity of a brute force approach, you need to understand certain tricks or the I was referring them to patterns. You need to understand certain patterns in programming languages. For example, two pointers approach, Cadena's algorithm, KMP pattern matching. Without these patterns, you won't be able to reduce the complexity significantly. You can make a tweak here and there, but without actually using the required algorithm, you won't be able to reduce the complexity significantly. So you need to learn about these patterns in programming language, and that can only be done by practicing more and more. The second would be you need to read code of others. So what you need to do, you need to go to the editorial or the tutorial for the programming question on which you are having a trouble. Just look at the code, what is written on the website, and try to reduce the pattern out of, try to reduce the pseudocode or the logic being worked upon from the code. So you need to get into a habit of reading code of others. That habit you need to develop so that whenever you get stuck there, you can go to websites like LeetCode and just find the suitable code and can then understand why that part of code is working. The third will be always choose those tutorials and websites where solutions are available. Now this is a general advice. Whenever you are going to learn something on online, you always choose those kind of websites where the editorial or the submissions are already available, or there is a discussion page already there, so that if you are stuck somewhere, if you are not able to find out how that particular piece of code is working, you can put your query there, or you can go and look at the plain English description of solution, because without that you will be stuck, you will always be stuck, you will be cramming the code, which is not a good habit to get into. So you always choose those tutorials or websites where the solution are available. The fourth advice will be make notes of your learnings. And from learnings, what I mean here is, if you find a pattern, if you learn a pattern, for example you have learned two pointers approach, or you have learned KMP matching, then you make a note of it, then you make good notes out of it, and when you find similar kind of questions, you refer those notes and then try to solve the question, right? For example, in dynamic programming, if you solve more than 100 questions, you will realize there are 4 or 5 patterns which are there, and once you understand those 4 or 5 patterns, then you can attempt any question out of DP, right? The fifth will be practicing more and more, and this is a general advice that you solve. If you solve 500 plus question in data structure and algorithm, you will be able to crack most of the product based company interviews, the at least the technical part where they ask you on, where they judge you on data structure and algorithm. So you will be able to crack that part at least. Now let's talk about the third point, the test kit failure. See, Sakshi, test case failure usually happens due to extreme cases. Now these extreme cases can be special case as per that particular question, or they can be usually they are related to the memory, which I have faced so far in practically. So memory related extreme cases could be usually related to complexity. Okay, too much complexity is there, that we have already discussed. The second would be, if we are using, for example, if I talk about extreme cases, if there is a question and in the question you need to do addition of two numbers, right? In such case, if you look here, the first thing which would come into our mind would be, we take both the variables as integer, right? Now here the extreme case would be, if one of the value comes as integer dot max, so and the other value comes as +1, right? So if you do addition of these two numbers, the result should have been positive, but due to certain compiler restrictions, it will go negative extreme, right? This is what I'm saying here, that at times memory related issues, this is memory out of exception. This is where your memory is getting just swapped from positive extreme to negative extreme, right? These kind of things will usually you will learn by practicing more and more. So as many times you will get stuck somewhere, those many times you will learn out of it. So practice is the key. Just focus on the practice. Find those tutorials where the explanation is clear, make good notes out of it, try to recognize the patterns, and just stick to it. One day you'll succeed, I am quite sure about it. So I hope here I have been able to make my point clear for all the strata of students. And if there is anything which is coming to your mind and I haven't covered here, you can put your comments in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. It will help me to help more and more people, more and more students just like you, who are there yet to start their programming journey, who are afraid to start their programming journey, who are afraid to take the first step. It will help me in reaching out to those students also. So subscribe to the channel and help me in helping others. Thank you so much.